Number 9, Ali al-Akbar's night. Tonight, the person who came from the very body of Hussein leaves this world, goes into battle and dies. Brothers and sisters, the number is on your screen right now. If you want to call in to have your name written on the flag of Imam Hussein alayhi salam and have a ziyarah and have your voice here in the holy land of Karbala, and who better to write those names for you than my dear brother Abu Talib.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And what an honor is it for us to be still in Karbala and be at the service of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. The final night of Muharram, the 9th night of Muharram. We remember the martyrdom of Ali al-Akbar. He was one of the final companions of Imam al-Hussein that stood on the battlefield. When he wanted to leave the tent, it was difficult for Imam al-Hussein. But he knew that there was no other option but for him to send his Ali al-Akbar. Brothers and sisters, the flag of Imam al-Hussein last night was full. We've put a new flag on, and we have very little remaining nights for us to fill in this flag. We want to promise Imam al-Hussein that, my master, every time you put a flag on, we will put our names on. And we will always be in your path and at your service, my master.
Ahsant. Indeed, when we change the flag of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam in the show, it means that so many of you have called in, so many names have been requested, whether it's on the show or after the show. And we thank each and every single one of you for calling in. You know, for us to come to the holy land of Karbala may be a bit easier than for others. But we are very humbled sometimes when we hear of the people who haven't been to the holy land of Karbala. Those who haven't seen the shrines of Imam al-Hussein and Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas alayhim as-salam, and hear the tears and hear the pain in people's voices that they haven't been able to come here, yet they still shed a tear for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam, the light of the eye of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Whenever Abu Abdullah al-Hussein used to miss his grandfather, he would look towards Ali al-Akbar. He would say, this is the embodiment of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi, khalqan wa khuluqan.
Subhanallah.
In his features and in his mannerism, that his manners were the manners of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. That he looked like Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. He acted like Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. This was Ali al-Akbar. Brave, ferocious. Ali al-Akbar from both sides. His mother and his father's side, of course. Ferocious warriors. Some may have not served the religion of Islam. Some may have fought against the religion. Needless to say, they were strong, strong warriors. And of course, when you inherit the features and the battle style of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, then you are probably one of the most feared in the battlefield. Beautiful story of Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam. When he goes out on his horse And then he hears footsteps behind him, walking behind him. And he stops his horse and he looks back and he sees Abu Abdullah al-Hussein following. That's the heart of a father. That's the heart of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Walking behind him, he said, "Father, we already said our goodbyes." He said to him, "Ya Akbar, oh Akbar, if you had a son like you would understand. Ali al-Akbar, I don't want you to, as much as I don't want you to die, this is to save the religion of our grandfather Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi." But look, the dua of a mother on the day of Ashura, I don't think anyone could return to the tent apart from Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam. When Layla alayhi salam famously lifts her hands to the sky and she says, "Ilahi, Ilahi bi'atash al-Hussein." Oh Allah, in the name of the thirst of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, just let me see Akbar one more time. Just one more time. And the narrations state that Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam returns after fighting. And then he says some of the most devastating lines that could enter the ear of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. He says, "Oh Father, the thirst has exhausted me. هل لي بشربة من الماء." Is there just a few drops of water, oh Abu Abdullah? Just a few drops. Just some liquid for me to drink. Abu Abdullah has to do what any father would have done. He said to him, "Go, Ya Akbar. Go, for your grandfather Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi has got a glass of water waiting for you in Jannah. He's got a glass of water waiting to give to you, to quench your thirst, so that you'll never ever go astray ever again." And seeing your son leave for the second time and going out to fight until Ali al-Akbar fell. And his famous last words were, "It's only right we look towards the shrine." Said to him, "Aba ya Hussein, alayka minni salam." Father Hussein, I'm sending my peace and blessings upon you. Aba ya Hussein, my grandfather has given me water. My thirst has been quenched, Ya Aba Abdullah. Abu Talib, before we continue with the show, could you please, on behalf of yourself, the mu'mineen and the mu'minat, give us a salam to Abu Abdullah Hussein.
We know that whenever you say Assalamu alaikum, you get a response. And we know, my master, every time we perform a salam to you, you respond to us. But today, your response may be a little bit heavy or different, because today it's the night of Ali al-Akbar. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Rasulillah. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Amir al-Mu'mineen wa ibn Sayyid al-Wasiyyin. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Fatimah سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. أبا عبد الله, accept our salam, accept our ziyarah. As my master, we are worthless in this world. We are worthless. My master, when Ali al-Akbar came, took permission from you to go to the battlefield, you said to him, "Oh Ali al-Akbar, walk back to the tents. As you know how much Layla, your mother, loves you, and how special you are to Ruqayyah, and how much your aunt loves you. Ali al-Akbar walks in the tent. And this is where the ladies, one of them hold on to his hand, and one of them stick to his chest. One of them grab by his coat and say to him, "Ali, do not go. Ali, do not go." This is when Imam Hussein requests from everybody to leave Ali so that he goes towards his final destination. My master, Aba Abdullah, just like how the females and the women of yours hung in Ali's clothes, we hang off your abaya, my master. Abu Ali ma'algina ba'abaytak, Aba Abdullah. We have no one but you, my master. Nothing will stay with us. Only this service. Accept it from us. Accept it from the ones that are walking. Accept it from the ones that are calling. Accept it from all of us. Ya Aba Abdullah.
Abu Talib, I believe we have a caller on the line from one of our dear brothers and sisters across the globe. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaykum assalam.
MashaAllah, can I have your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Pani Sarah from Lucknow, India.
MashaAllah, sister. Sarah from India?
Yeah, India, from Lucknow.
MashaAllah. Sister, you have been to Karbala?
Yeah.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Sister, the shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam is in front of you. Bismillah, have your ziyarah. Sister, do you need help with the ziyarah?
Imam Hussein, Abdullah Hussein.
एक बार जाके डैडी को देखा क्या तो कमरा बनता है इसका बनता है
Sister, are you still with me? Ahsantum. Jazakum Allah khair. Thank you so much for your call. Inshallah, we take the next caller on the line and we say Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
MashaAllah, sister. Can I have your name and where you're calling from?
Calling from India.
What was your name?
Mehnaz.
Mehnaz, Sister Mehnaz. On your screen right now, you see the mawakib going into the shrine of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas alayhi salam and Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Sister Mehnaz, amongst some of the lines that these mawakib may recite, among some of those lines is, "O Hussein, O Hussein, you stayed firm on the correct path even when everyone went against you."
Ya Hussein.
Sister, do you see inside the shrine right now, do you see how many thousands of people are here from all over the world?
I want to be one of them today.
Sister, Inshallah, Ali al-Akbar writes you in his list of Zuwar.
I cannot imagine myself.
Sister, just imagine the feeling of the shrine of Abu Abdullah in your hands. Imagine holding on to it. There's one thing that makes us just different. Is that when she's crying, It's a burn deep inside her heart. And when every lover of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein cries, it's a burn deep inside. That we say, Ya Abu Abdullah, had this happened to my mother, or my father, or any relative of mine, it would not have affected me as much as your musab affects me. Sister Mehnaz, the Zawar and the Mawakib are giving out food. And for us in our riwayat, there is blessings. And there is barakah. And there's shifa. In the thawab or in the zad of Abu Ali, of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Sister, can you imagine being inside with the wind blowing onto you, and you're there reciting Ziyarat Ashura, and every few words you look up to the shrine and then you look back down, and you come to the famous lines, Assalamu ala al-Hussein wa ala Ali ibn al-Hussein. And then you stop and you pause and you wonder, which Ali ibn al-Hussein? Is it Ali Zayn al-Abidin? Is it Ali al-Asghar? Is it Ali al-Akbar? But then you just say, it doesn't matter, because then it says وَعَلَىٰ أَوْلَادِ الْحُسَيْنِ. So each one of them gets a salam from you. In Arabic, Sister Mehnaz, there's a phrase that we always say, which is أشهد أنك ترى مقامي وتسمع كلامي وترد سلامي. I bear witness that you see in which state that I am, and that you hear me speaking to you, Ya Abu Abdullah, and I bear witness that you return my salam. Allah. Could you imagine, Mehnaz, that you are standing at the shrine of Hussein, Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, and you say, Assalamu alayka ya Abu Abdullah, and he says and he replies to you, Wa alayki salam ya Mehnaz, in his beautiful voice. On your screen right now, you see the armor of Ali al-Akbar. The eldest son of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam. Sister, if we got to the point on the day of Ashura where Layla had to say, Oh Allah, I ask you in the name of the thirst of Abu Abdullah, the thirst of Hussein. How much water do we drink each day? How much water do we let go to waste? اشرب الماء واذكر عطش الحسين. Drink water and remember the thirst of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Sister, the Mawakib have been going steady every single day and night into the shrines of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. May you be amongst them. May you be among them. Sister Mehnaz, I want you to look towards the shrine of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, and I want you to tell him what they did to Ali al-Akbar. Bismillah, sister, have your ziyarah. Go ahead. Clean your shoulder. Sister Mehnaz, but we do have a lot of calls waiting in line, so we're going to say goodbye to you and thank you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless your tears. Inshallah, we take the next caller on the line and we say Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Who am I speaking with?
I am Sadiqa Hussein from London.
Sister Sadiqa Hussein from London.
Yes. Are you live now, Minhal? As I'm watching you on Imam Hussein channel.
We are live currently from the holy land of Karbala. Sister
Karbala.
Sadiqa.
Okay. Right. I first of all want to do my salam to Imam Hussein alayhi salam.
Inshallah. Inshallah, please. Go ahead. Mawla Hussein's shrine is in front of you, but please speak to him about Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam.
Assalamu ala al-Hussein.
Allah.
Assalamu ala al-Hussein. Assalamu ala Minhal, I've been trying to call you past 3-4 days because I was in such a turmoil. And I had to be in a place where I didn't want to be, and I'm asking Hussein is with the bus, please. I don't want to be there. Please get me out. I would rather be somewhere to mourn you when you're out. And he's selfish. He's selfish me. He's selfish me, believe me. I said, it's a sure coming up. I don't want my days to be wasted elsewhere. I want to be mourning you, and he did selfish me, and all of him to thank him today. I'm thanking him. I'm thanking him for the person that the terrorist in Lebanon. It's a big miracle from me. Believe me, Minhal, believe me, Mawla Hussein is alive. And so is Imam Zamana, and I did beg Imam Zamana so you can hear, you can see. And please pass on my message, Mawla Hussein. I want to be mourning you and you're out. I don't want to be there. Get me out of the situation. And he did. I said, tomorrow is your, it's a Shabi Ashura. It's a Shabi Ashura, and please get me out of the place. And he did. I'm telling you. I'm telling you it did. And Allah, today I had to call you to say thank you. Thank you. I am looking at the Rosa right now. But you are there. You are so lucky. And I have promised that Mawla Hussein, every year I want to be there. I want to be
Sister
there rather than
Sadiqa.
at home anywhere else. Please pray for us, Minhal. The Mullah, please call us every year.
Sister
Rather be
Sadiqa,
there,
are you
sitting
with me?
around his rosa. Yes.
Sister Sadiqa, Aba Abdullah
Yes.
al-Hussein has already invited you here. You have
Inshallah, Minhal.
already made it
Inshallah.
here for the 10 nights of Muharram. You have called in on night number 9. Your voice is in
Yes.
Karbala. You may not be here physically, but your
I know.
voice is here in the holy land of Karbala. Meaning that
I
Aba
know,
Abdullah
Minhal.
al-Hussein has allowed for your voice to enter his city.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Minhal, can you please add my name and my family's name on it?
What's your family's name?
And yeah, I will be, you can say Sadiqa Hussein, her family. Because it's
Sadiqa
5 or 6
Hussein
of
and
us.
family.
Yeah. Yeah,
Inshallah.
Sadiqa Hussein is my name. And my husband's name is Al-Hussein.
You mentioned that you've been through turmoil.
Very much so, very much more. 3-4 days. It wasn't directly, connected to me. It was connected to my son.
Yeah.
But it's a great moza. Minhal, maybe one day I will explain you all. But believe me, my message to all Mu'mineen is that you have to have a really strong belief that they are alive. And especially my advice to Mu'mineen is talk to Imam Zamana. He listens to you, hears you, and he directs you. Believe him, Minhal. He directed me. While I was sitting in that place, and I said, Mawla, you said that you can hear, you can see, our situation, and never you are aware of it. Right now I'm talking to you, advise me. And he said, you know what? You won't believe me, Minhal, he said, go and recite Dua Faraj. And I just continue sitting there, I continue. And then, Basic said that read the actual translation. And I wanted to read the translation. And I, before I used to do it, but when I looked at it, oh my God, that we are demanding that now, right now. And when I did, I continue.
Sister,
And honestly, you would believe me. Yes.
Sister, if we can, we'll call you after the show. I'll get the brothers at the back to call you after the show to get the full story, so that inshallah
Absolutely.
we can show the miracle of
Absolutely.
the Ahlul-Bayt alayhi salam. Thank you so much for calling. We're just going to say goodbye to you for now, just because we have a lot of callers on the line. Jazakumullah khairul jaza. Thank you very much. We'll take the next caller on the line. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Inshallah, brother. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Mason Jivraj and I'm calling from Toronto, Canada.
Brother Mason from Toronto, Canada. Brother Mason. Night number 9 is Ali al-Akbar's night, correct?
Yes, it is.
Brother, how old are you?
I am 30 years old.
You are not far from the age of Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam. Brother, is your father alive?
Yeah.
Yeah? Brother, could you imagine yourself going out to fight and your father's running behind you? And then you turn to your father and you say, Baba, why are you following me? Khalas, we said goodbye. Yani it's time for me to go. Baba, I'll see you on the other side. You kiss your father's hand and you kiss his forehead. And then you go out to fight. What would your father's reaction be if he saw you fall? What would your father's reaction be, my dear brother Mason? Mason, are you still with me?
Yeah, yes, he is. He can't speak. He's crying.
He's okay, no problem. Mason, imagine your father. Mason, imagine your father sees you fall, but he runs the other direction. He runs the other direction. You fell there. He runs this way. And your younger sister says to your father, Father, where are you going? Akbar is this way. And your father says to you, or says to your younger sister, he says, forgive me. But the death of Mason has blinded me. I don't know where to run to. The tears in my eyes, I can't see properly. I can't see properly. Maysam, let the viewers hear your tears. Let Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam hear them. There is no, it doesn't de-emasculate you. It doesn't make you less of a man to cry for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. It makes you more of a man to cry for him. Speak to him.
I'm speaking on behalf of him. Assalamu alaikum ya Abu Abdullah.
Keep going.
It's so hard, Brother Minhal.
Allah.
It's very hard. I'm his mother. It's so hard.
Even if you send your salams between you and yourself, he still hears and he still replies.
Yes. Yes.
So whether you want to speak or you want to do it between you and yourself, just let us know when you have completed your ziyarah. Bismillah, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum ya Abu Abdullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum ya Abul Faz, ya Abdul Saleh wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Brother Minhal and Brother Abu Talib. You're doing a wonderful job. I don't even miss a single day of your show. Jazakallah, Jazakallah. Pray for us, Brother Minhal. Pray, Abu Talib, pray for us. Inshallah.
Allah, we pray for all the Shia of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Because for us, we are one community. Please don't bring me marja'i politics. Don't bring me racism. This guy is Pakistani, this guy is Irani, this guy is Iraqi, this guy is Indian, this guy is this guy follows this marja', this guy follows that marja'. I don't care. My marja', Hussein.
He is our only leader.
Ayatollah translates to what? The verse of Allah. That's the proof of Allah. I don't care which marja' you follow. Because ultimately there's one marja'. That's him buried in there. Hussein is our aqeedah. Hussein is our journey. Hussein is our guidance. Hussein is the light at the end of every dark tunnel. It's about enough now, enough that we have disputes within the Shia community. about this guy follows, or this mosque subscribes to this scholar, I won't go to it. Every single one of them you see on your screens right now follow different sorts of maraja. But look, they shout in unison under one banner. Under one banner. You want Shia Sunni unity, you go look for that. You want Shia unity, the banner of Hussein. That's it. It's as simple as that.
Imam al-Hussein unites us.
So,
You know, Imam al-Hussein unites us, but yesterday I said to some of the brothers, while we look at the shrine of Imam al-Hussein, we say to him, Aba Abdullah, we all stand in your dome, under your dome, and you welcome us all. But Aba Abdullah, who welcomed your orphan? Abu Abdullah, when they ran from one flaming tent to another, who helped them? Who guided them? Abu Abdullah, your girls, they would run and trip over and stand up, but nobody helped them to stand up. Abu Abdullah, their jewelry was taken. Brothers and sisters that was watching our episodes the night before, there was one point where we stopped. When I spoke about the ring of Imam al-Hussein, I said to him, Aba Abdullah, your ring was taken. And I spoke about one of the orphans. I spoke about Ruqayyah, Habibat al-Hussein. Aba Abdullah, as she ran from one tent to another, one la'een approached her and he teared the earrings off of her, Ya Hussein. My master, the earrings that you gifted to Ruqayyah were looted. They were snatched off her ears, leaving her bloodied. My master, nor was you present, nor Abul Fadl. But we know how great they are. I want you to imagine if Imam al-Hussein was present, if he was still walking on the sand, what would he have done? What would he have done?
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts his power into his chosen ones, into those he loves, into those that he adores, those closest to him. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam could have easily lifted his hands in dua and said, Ya Allah, get me out of this. Ya Allah, send me forces. Ya Allah, send me people to help me. Imam Hussein never abused his closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Never allowed it to get to him. And then what happens, happens. Ali al-Akbar beheaded. Qasim beheaded. Abbas beheaded. But most importantly, the Imam of the tide beheaded.
If we look into the history, we see that there is no martyrdom as brutal as Hussein. There is no martyrdom more upsetting than Hussein. And what hurts you more is it is the same Hussein that when the Prophet was in sujood, Hussein would climb over the back of the Prophet, and the Prophet would not break his salah.
Talib, I believe we have a few callers on the line. We say Assalamu alaikum. MashaAllah. Sister Mehdi and Hannah?
Yes. Yes, brother.
Sister, if you were there and you saw the sights on your left, Akbar falls, but you see Abu Abdullah running to the right, would your first thought be that Hussein is running away from battle? Or would it be that his tears filled his eyes so he couldn't see the location of Akbar?
You know, my most favorite Noha, the one I recite the most, is one that describes exactly this, and it speaks about, it's in Urdu, so if I was to repeat it to you in Urdu, I'm not sure if you'd be able to understand, but it speaks about the despair that Imam Hussein felt the moment his prince Ali al-Akbar, Shabih Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, was struck, and how he stood there alone crying out for his son, and how he felt helpless because there was no Abbas to help him, there was nobody to help him, and he couldn't see where his son was. So in between all of the fallen dead, he's looking for his son, and he keeps stumbling and falling until he falls on the chest of Ali al-Akbar, and he recognizes him by his scent.
He does. From his horse he jumps. He doesn't stop the horse. He doesn't stop Maymoon. He runs, jumps on his horse, goes towards, before stopping the horse, he jumps on the body of his son.
Yes.
Can I speak to Mahdiya, please?
Yes, sure, brother. Welcome.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. مهدية. Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam. Give me something that you know about him.
He was the son of Imam Hussein, and he was really dear to Bibi Ruqayya and he looked just like Rasulullah. And Bibi Sukra was the closest to him, and I know that the second Noha I ever recited was in Urdu. It said, "Don't tell Sugara about Ali Akbar because it would just break her."
Yes.
Who recited the last azan on Ashura?
Ali Akbar recited the last azan for Ashura.
And it's actually known as Azan al-Akbar, isn't it?
MashaAllah. You see the mawakib in front of you. You see the shrine inside. They're all chanting Labbayka ya Ali al-Akbar. And there's Najaf. There is Najaf. You see Najaf in front of you right now.
Yes.
The swords are out. Mourning is not stopping. And in Najaf, everyone recites the famous lines of poetry of Ali al-Akbar. أنا علي بن الحسين ابن علي أضربكم بالسيف أحمي عن أبي ضرب غلام هاشمي علوي. He had to say Alawi. Had to say Alawi.
Absolutely.
Because the strike of Ali al-Akbar, one strike of his, would take out 2 or 3 people at once. There are narrations. There are narrations that would say, at the time of Ali al-Akbar's grandfather, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib, they would ask, how would you know that Ali killed this man and a layman killed this man? They would say the strike of Ali leaves burn marks into the person's flesh.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah.
The same burn marks that Ali al-Akbar would leave on his enemy's flesh.
Subhanallah.
Minhal, you've spoken about strikes. Remind me of the strike of Amir al-Mu'mineen and Ali al-Akbar.
Strikes were fierce. They were both hit on the head. Like his grandfather, they were both struck on the head. Abu Talib,
Brother
right
Minhal?
here. Right.
Brother Minhal, may I share something with you that I think is very important regarding
1 second.
Ali al-Akbar?
Sister Henna,
Yes, brother.
this was the strike. This was the location of the strike. Right there.
Subhanallah.
Right. On the head of Ali al-Akbar. Right.
Please share what you wanted to share, sister.
Not
many people realize the powerful Wasila Ali Akbar is. I've experienced this myself not very long ago, and I had a very, very difficult issue that needed resolving.
Sure.
And I came across a video, a reel on Instagram, I think it was, where a sheikh had shared a 2 rakat salah, hadiyah to Imam Hussein, bihaqqi Ali al-Akbar, and you present it to Imam Hussein for the sake of his son Ali al-Akbar, and you give his wasila, the tawassul of Ali al-Akbar, and you request your hajj. It's a very simple 2 rakat namaz, and you know it's there's nothing extraordinary that you have to recite in it. It's just like you would do fajr. But in the hajat, when you're doing your hajat, you are meant to beg Imam Hussein for the sake of Ali al-Akbar, and it is guaranteed that your hajat will be fulfilled. And I swear to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, within 5 hours this issue was resolved of mine, where I had no idea how, because to me it seemed impossible. So what many people don't realize is Ali al-Akbar is also a Bab al-Hawaij, a Bab al-Murad, where you are able to fulfill your needs through his wasila.
All of Al Muhammad are Bab al-Hawaij.
Absolutely.
But let me tell you something. If a man with only an army of 72, with limited narrators of the Battle of Karbala or the Battle of Taf, because remember, Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam says, and Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam says, he says, if our Shia had known exactly what took place on the day of Ashura, they would never smile again. Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam says, if our Shia had known, each one of those you see on your screen, every single one of them who visits Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, visits Karbala, Imam al-Baqir says, had they known what occurred on the day of Ashura to my grandfather and my uncles, there wouldn't be a single human being alive today.
This is why Imam Zayn al-Abidin never smiled after returning from Sham.
And that is why he cried after every sight of water he saw.
He would cry when he saw butchers butchering their animals, and he would ask them, did you give it water first? Because you know my father never even got a drop of water before he was killed. Neither did my brothers. Neither did Ali Asghar. Please give your animals some water. Don't let it go through what my father went through. Ya Hussein.
Ya Hussein.
You know, Brother Minhal, there are narrations of Zafar Jinn, the jinn who requested to support and help Imam Hussein during the Battle of Karbala. And there are narrations, I was reading this earlier today, that he witnessed everything that happened because he did not receive the permission, the izn from Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein said, no, this is not a battle of jinns. This is not your battle. This is my battle and I know what I'm doing. You are good where you are. Zafarjan was allowed to stay and witness what took place. And after that, he ripped his clothes, he poured sand on his head, and he carried on roaming the entire world, reciting majalis, asking scholars to have majalis recited for Imam Hussein, and weeping or crying so much. He had forsaken all his powers, all his abilities because of what he saw. And yet we have people who dispute what took place in Karbala on the day of Ashura on the 10th of October in 680 AD.
Sister Hannah, I'm going to put the shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam in front of you, and this time it's more special because the person we're commemorating is buried right next to his father.
Right next to him, yes.
So please send your ziyarah and your salams, because he hears you and he returns your salam.
Jazakallah khair.
Go ahead.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum ya Amir al-Mu'mineen wa Sayyid al-Wasin. Assalamu alaikum ya Fatima al-Zahra Salam. Assalamu alaikum Khadija al-Kubra. Assalamu alaikum ya Hazan Mujtaba. Assalamu alaikum ya Aba Abdullah Hussein. Wala lawahi halat bi finaik. عليكم مني جميع سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جلاه آخر الأرض مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين ولا علي بن الحسين ولا أولاد الحسين ولا أصحاب الحسين ولا أخيك الحسين ولا أختك الحسين ولا أم البنين ولا تسة معصومين من ذريتك الحسين جميع رحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله. السلام عليك يا ابن نبي الله. السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا ابن الحسين الشهيد. السلام عليك أيها الشهيد وابن الشهيد. السلام عليك أيها المظلوم وابن المظلوم. لا رد الله أمة قتلتك ولا الله أمة ظلمتك ولا الله سمعت بذلك فرديت به. السلام عليكم يا علي الأكبر ابن الحسين عليه السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك أيها العبد الصالح مطيع لله ولرسوله ولأمير المؤمنين والحسن والحسين. السلام عليك يا أبا الفضل عباس ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا ابن سيد الوصيين. السلام عليك يا سكاء السكينة. السلام عليكم يا سكاء لتاشا وكشف الكرب من وجه الحسين عليه السلام. يكشف كرب بحق أخيك الحسين عليه السلام. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان. الأمان الأمان من فتنة الزمان. السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن. السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان. أجل الله فرجك وسهل الله مخرجك وظهورك. السلام عليكم أهل البيت النبوة أمات الرسالة جميع رحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد
وآل محمد. Sister Hannah, we're going to have to say goodbye to you right now because we've got a few callers backed up. So inshallah we'll speak to them and give opportunity for as many ziyaras as possible. We take the next caller and we say Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Can I have your name and where you're calling from, please?
My name is Abbas Ali Mauji. I'm calling from Mombasa, Kenya.
Abbas Ali Mauji from Mombasa, Kenya.
Yes, brother.
Brother Abbas, I don't know if you've watched, have you watched the show before?
It is the first time I've been watching it.
So for yourself and for others who aren't familiar with the show, I really try to make you go back in time and envision Karbala.
Yes.
So brother, I want you to look towards this tent right here. And in this tent, I want you to imagine Layla alayha salam with her hands in the air, saying, Ilahi bi'atash al-Hussein, bring back Ali al-Akbar. And then I want you to imagine Ali al-Akbar coming back, and he sees these bowls. To him, it looks like water, but it's not drinkable, and it's empty. And then he says, Abba ya Hussein, al-atashu qad arhaqani. Father ya Hussein, the thirst has exhausted me. Oh mother, isn't there any water? Oh father, isn't there any water? Is there no water in any of the tents? And then imagine Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam says to him, imagine the feeling of a son. Imagine your father. Imagine your father tells you, my son Abbas, Abbas, you are facing an enemy. Abbas, don't worry. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi will give you some water. Go. The feeling of a father not being able to provide for his son, especially the one who most resembles Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. Brother, can you do one thing for me? Close your eyes. And brother, imagine yourself on the side of the enemies. And imagine you over here, Umar ibn Sa'ad saying, go and kill Ali al-Akbar. For if Ali al-Akbar is killed, Hussein would not want to live. Hussein would not want to live. I ask you, and I ask each and every person who claims to have loyalty to al-Bayt alayhim as-salam, and I ask myself, before I ask any of you, I am no better than anyone here. Is there a possibility that an amount of money could have convinced you to leave the side of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein? Brother Abbas, I want you to be the first to answer this question. Brother Abbas, could there have been an amount that would have made you leave the side of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein? May Allah bless your tears, my dear brother. Look towards your master, because that answer that you just gave me was an answer of tears. It was an answer of, how could you ask me such a question? It was an answer which meant to me that you would never sell out your Imam. Bismillah. Go ahead. Recite your ziyarah. Still with me?
Yes.
Brother, send your salams and recite a ziyarah to Aba Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. And tell him, Ya Aba Abdullah, inshallah I will come again to Karbala. If you want, Abu Talib could help you with the recitation of the ziyarah if you would like.
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أزور سيدي ومولاي معتمدي ورجاي في آخرتي ودنياي أصالة مني ونيابة عن والدي وعن إخواني وأصدقائي وأمواتي وكل من خصني بالدعاء والزيارة. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله. السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليك أيها الشهيد وابن الشهيد. السلام عليك أيها المظلوم. السلام عليك أيها الغريب. السلام عليك أيها العطشان. السلام على الشيب الخضيب. السلام على الجسم التريب. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Brother Abbas, thank you so much for your call. We really appreciate it. My dear brothers and sisters, we're going to go for a short break, and after return, receiving more of your phone calls and writing your names on the flag of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Don't go anywhere, stay with us.
Tragic month of Muharram. One of the most significant acts is the provision of tabarruk and niyaz for Husseiniyyas worldwide.
In a world plagued by hunger and the merciless killing of Shia Muslims on a daily basis, it becomes our duty to give to those in need. Countless Husseiniyyat Imam Bargas and centers cook meals to nourish their local communities as the masses gather to remember Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam.
And do you know what? The orphans and widows absolutely cherish it.
During this time of year, hundreds of thousands of orphans, widows and people living in poverty rely on niyaz and tabarruk.
Just imagine the profound impact a single plate of food, a glass of water or a bag of fruit can have.
These simple items can nourish a hungry child, bring comfort to a struggling family, and even inspire a brighter future.
However, we cannot do this alone. We need your help to create a lasting impact this Muharram.
Join us in this collective effort to provide basic necessities that every human deserves.
Make your niyaz count and donate your tabarruk now so that it can reach the Hussainis and the Zainabis of today.
This Muharram, Imam Hussein TV invites you for the journey of a lifetime. Wherever you may be in this world, experience the sound of Aza, the sight of the golden domes, and the energy of love. Witness a 24-hour live stream from the holy city of Karbala throughout the 10 days of Muharram. exclusively on Imam Hussein TV, your gateway to Karbala.
Over 1300 years since the Battle of the Free, the effort of millions globally heightens during these sacred nights. The mark of the beginning of the Islamic calendar marks the beginning of the oppression against the Holy Prophet and his holy progenitors. For the next 10 nights, commencing from the 19th of July, Muhibban al-Mahdi will begin their annual commemoration of the holy month of Muharram, aired live and exclusive on Imam Hussein TV 3, with guest speaker Sheikh Muhammad Abbas Panji, English eulogies by Ammar al-Nashid, Urdu eulogies by Muhammad Abbas Kareem, and recitation of the Holy Quran by Mustafa al-Ali. Join us as we count the days down and day by day get closer to the reappearance of our Savior, Imam al-Mahdi, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu al-sharif.
Brothers and sisters, welcome back to the I Am Husseini show. The show where we're taking your calls and your names and putting them on the flag of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. So inshallah we won't take up a lot of your time. We take the next caller on the line and say Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can I have your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Ilya and I'm calling from London.
Could you repeat your name one more time for me, please?
Ilya.
Ilya.
Yes.
Ilya.
Yes.
MashaAllah. Brother Ilya, what majalis have you been to this year in the UK?
Unfortunately, not many because of being in the last year of A-levels. Unfortunately, inshallah, tomorrow.
Inshallah. Inshallah. You know, sometimes you were talking about your A-levels?
Yes.
A lot of our youth, and you know, inshallah, you implement this with your studies. Whenever you want to have a break from studying, if it's during Muharram, then keep it towards the end of the night, so that you study in the morning. And then you can go to Majlis al-Hussein alayhi salam.
Inshallah.
Let's never leave the majalis of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Brother Ilya, I want to ask have you ever, listened to a musibah and shed tears like you've never shed tears before?
Of course. The main one being of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein.
Have you ever shed tears over Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam?
I've shed over the Shuhada of Karbala. All of them.
So brother, I want you to listen, close your eyes, and I need an honest reaction from you. Brother, imagine you are on your horse at that time. Umar ibn Sa'd one side says to you, "Oh Ilya, join my side and I will make you a governor with me. I will give you all the money in the world." But then Aba Abdullah al-Hussein says to you, Ilya, come to me, I will give you Jannah. Ilya, suppose you are a companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, and you manage to catch Karbala as it happens. And imagine you stumble across Ali al-Akbar. And you say, is this Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alih? Ilya, imagine Shimr bin Dhil Jawshan came up to you. And Shimr says to you, Ilya, I will give you all the money in the world. I will give you everything you want. Just join our side. And then you look on the other side and you see Abu al-Fadl, and you see Qasim, and you see Ali al-Akbar, and you see Hassan al-Muthanna, and you see the companions of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Ilya, tell me, is fear going to be a factor that causes you to turn away from your Imam and join the side of Umar bin Sa'ad?
No.
Or will you have full yaqeen in the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in your Imam? This isn't a question that I just ask you. I ask myself this question first, then I ask you. Ilya, look at the Zuwar on the gate of Abu Abdullah. Just look at the Zuwar on the gate of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Do you not wish to be there?
100%. I want to be there.
Ilya, look at your Imam's shrine, because he's buried in there. The grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi lays 6 feet under. And speak to him. Tell him how badly you want to come to Karbala.
Ya Abu Abdullah, Ya Ibn Rasulullah, I want to be there every day to do ziyarah, to do salat, to be part of the ultimate success, to do ziyarah of your progeny, of your father and your grandfather and your mother and your brother, and of all the shuhada. I want to be there when the occultation ends for Hujjat ibn Hassan. I want to be useful for the Ummah, for your sake, for the sake of your Lord.
Brother, every Muharram, you just wait for that shout in the shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. ألا يا أهل العالم، ألا يا أهل العالم، قتل جدي الحسين عطشانا عطشانا عطشانا. O people of the world, know that my grandfather Abi Abdullah al-Hussein was killed thirsty. Thirsty. But brother,
can I do more dua? I need to say this.
Bismillah, say it.
Abu Abdullah was saying, do tawassul to your Lord for me, for all the sins that I've committed, that I'm going to commit, and make my deeds millionfold, infinityfold better, and make me more just, make me more honest in my actions, and make me of the 313 that will be there for your progeny, Hujjat ibn Hassan. Don't allow us to be of the hypocrites, of those who betrayed you, your grandfather, Don't make us want the worldly life for the exchange of the hereafter. Don't make us be ashamed of our actions on the day we meet you and your grandfather and ultimately our Creator. Make us of the ones who enter Jannah with you, the ones who will always surround you in Jannah, in your companionship. Don't allow us by your tabassum to be ashamed in front of God because of our actions, without being forgiven, without having afiyah from your Lord. Indeed, your maqam is high with your Creator, your Lord. So, look at us and beg for us from your Lord, because indeed we are in need.
Brother, today the dome of Imam Hussein alayhi salam stands high. But 1,300 odd years ago,
of course,
his body lay 3 days or 3 nights. Could you imagine yourself laying down, motionless, unable to move, with no one coming by to bury you? The haqq of every Muslim is a janazah. The haqq of every Muslim is a burial. How about the Sheikh of the Muslims? How about Sayyid al-Muslimin at his time? Why didn't he deserve a janazah? Why did he not deserve a burial? Why was he prevented? Brother Ilya, thank you very much for your call. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless your tears, and of course bless you in your endeavors. Just make sure. And of course this is a reminder for myself and my brother Abu Talib before anyone else. Just make sure whenever you carry out business, whenever you study, whichever action you want to carry out in your life, put Sahib al-Asr wa Zaman in the middle. Put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with it as well.
Yes, Najila.
Majida?
Najila.
Najla.
Yes.
And your son's name?
Hamza.
Hamza. And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Denmark.
Denmark.
Yes.
The country of my birth.
Yes, we talked about it on live once. You was live on TikTok.
MashaAllah. Sister.
Yes, brother.
I'm sure you've been to Karbala.
I have been, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. What if I told you, you were standing with Sayyida Zainab alayha salam, and Zainab says to you, Najla, hold me, I can't take any more. She says to you, please go look after Layla and Ramla, but particularly Layla, because she just lost Ali al-Akbar. And then imagine you walk into the tent of Layla alayhi salam, and you see her in sujood, see her in supplication. And then Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam comes back from the battlefield. Comes back carrying Ali al-Akbar. He says, Bunay Ali, على الدنيا بعد خلق. Bunay Ali, my son Ali, this life is not worth living after you. Sister, look towards the shrine of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Send him your salams. Speak to him. Send your salams and ziyarah. But please,
may Allah bless you all.
Ask for the reappearance of our Imam. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. May Allah bless you all.
Allah bless you.
I will just say goodbye. Thank you so much for all your effort, for all of your efforts with the whole team.
Thank you very much, my dear sister. Jazakumullah khair. We take the next caller on the line. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, brother.
MashaAllah. Can I have your name and where you're calling from? Assalamu alaikum. Phone lines disconnected, inshallah. Bunay Ali ala dunya min ba'dika. Imagine Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Just imagine this, brothers and sisters. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam gets to the holy land of Karbala. And his horse stops. He dismounts. After attempting to move his horse, he gets on another horse. The horse doesn't move. A third, a fourth, a fifth, sixth, seventh. None of them move. And he asks, what's the name of this land? They told him, my master, this is called Al-Ghadariyah. Does it have another name? My master, it's called Naina. Does it have another name? Karbala. Allah. He lifts his hands in dua and says, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-karb wal-bala. And then just imagine, because we've already mentioned this part, but imagine Abu Abdullah dismounting his horse, off his horse. He gets off his horse. And he looks around. And he says, here is where our blood will be shed. هنا تسفك دماؤنا. Here. Abbas set the tent of Zainab up. Ali al-Akbar, go bring us water. And Abu Abdullah al-Hussein is giving all these orders to his companions. But the one thing any father loves, and he loves a great connection with, is his eldest son. how you bared the death of Abbas, Ya Aba Abdullah. Maybe I can understand that al-Baneen alayha salam would say that Abbas, Abdullah, Ja'far, Uthman were created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala solely to be sacrificed for you. But Aba Abdullah, Ali al-Akbar was created. How you bared his death, I don't know. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give sabr and patience to every father who's lost a son, and every mother who's lost a son, every father who's lost a daughter, or every daughter who's lost her father. In Karbala, all situations apply. Sisters, daughters, sons, fathers, mothers lost on the day of Ashura. Talib, do you have anything to recite for us today? A poem? Anything in Arabic for the night of Ali al-Akbar? Simple as Ana al-Walid. Ana al-Walid, Ana al-Walid.
You know, we've spoken about Ali al-Akbar and Imam Hussein. But Imam Hussein speaks to Zainab.
What does he tell her?
He says to her, Ali is gone. Ali
Ali is gone. Talib, come this way.
Ali Imam Hussein says to Zainab, Ali راح يا زينب قومي سنديني علي راح علي راح تعاي وعاونيني بشد الإجراح علي راح يا زينب قومي سنديني علي راح علي راح تعاي وعاونيني بشد الإجراح أشيل شلون لما أخاف تموت يمه أخاف تموت يمه علي راح علي راح يا زينب قومي سنديني علي راح علي راح تعاي وعاونيني بشد الإجراح هشيل شلون لما أخاف تموت يمه أخاف تموت يمه علي راح. What else does he say? تعالي يا اختي يا زينب تعالي انفجع راسي انفجع راس الولد يا اختي قبالي تعاي وعاونيني وهذا حالي، انكتب قدامي تتذبح عيالي. علي راح اجيتك بس ادق الراح بالراح. علي راح شفتهم قطعوه قبالي برماح. دليل امه من الجمه اخاف تموت يمه، اخاف تموت يمه. علي راح. Imam Hussein says to Zainab, Zainab, Ali is gone. Zainab, assist me, for which I can't bear myself, seeing I have lost my son. Zainab, how can I carry him to his mother? How can I carry him to his mother? I witnessed him beheaded. How can I, Zainab? Sister, you are my partner in this aza. You carry with me this responsibility. And truly, Zainab did. She was the partner of Hussein. She witnessed everything from start, from beginning to end. And it all ended there in Sham, where she was buried alone. Ya Allah, invite us Sham. Invite us Sham, and invite the viewers to reach her shrine, the shrine that we were restricted from the Yazids of our time. And once Yazid tried, and this woman Zainab salamullahi alayha, she had a speech that had shooken the mountains, when she said to him, Ya Yazid, فوالله لم تمحي ذكرنا, and I swear by God, you will never end our remembrance. And we promise Zainab salamullahi alayha and say to her, O Mother Zainab, we pledge allegiance to you and say to you, for Allah, not one Yazid, but if hundreds of Yazid stand in your way, we will reach to you. Our brethren sacrificed their souls for you.
May Allah bless their souls, inshallah. Inshallah, we'll take a few more phone calls before the end of the show, my dear brothers and sisters. So can I start off with the first phone call? Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
MashaAllah, can I have your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Ruqayya and I'm calling from Sweden.
Ruqayya. Ruqayya, how old are you?
I'm 12. Well, almost 12.
Almost 12. Ruqayya, have you been to Karbala before?
Yeah, but it was when I was 4 years old, the last time that I went to Karbala.
How old were you?
I was 4.
4.
So I really want to go to Karbala now.
Sayyidah Ruqayya alayha salam only visited Karbala once and she was 4.
Yeah, so...
She died in Sham. Okay, Sister Ruqayya. I want you to perform a ziyarah on your behalf and on behalf of your mother and father and your whole family. And the shrine of Imam Hussein alayhi salam is going to be in front of you right now. So go ahead and recite the ziyarah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت جنان إليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقي الليل والنهار السلام عليكم
Sister Ruqayya.
Yeah?
We're writing your name on the flag of Imam Hussein alayhi salam right now.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Do you have any other names you want us to put on?
Yeah, I would like for you to write the name of my mother. She's having some difficulties at work and stuff. So my mother's name is Fatima.
Allah, Fatima. Anyone else?
Let me just think. And my father too. He's at the mosque helping. He's always, especially during Muharram.
What was his name?
He goes to the mosque all of the time, and he helps to, he makes videos and he edits the nohas and everything. My father's name is Ahmed.
Ahmed. MashaAllah.
Okay, thank you.
Sister Ruqayya, may Allah bless you. Thank you so much for your call. Do we have another caller on the line? Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
No, Minhal.
Yeah.
Imam Hussein is very happy when he sees these names on his flag.
Yeah.
Because all these names, they bring honor to us.
Inshallah, they bring honor to us and to everyone. We say assalamu alaikum to our dear caller.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
MashaAllah. Can I have your name and where you're calling from?
This is Sayyid Muhammad Ali Zaidi from Pakistan.
Sayyid Muhammad Ali Zaidi from Pakistan. Sayyid Muhammad Ali. The night of Ali al-Akbar. Sayyid Ali, 28 years old. 28. And you imagine him looking like Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alih. And you imagine his father Abi Abdullah al-Hussein giving him this sword and telling him, go, go my son. Sayyid Ali, Muhammad Ali, sorry. Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam wants to call you to his shrine, and he wants to write your name on the list of Zuwar.
Inshallah.
Do you know how I know this? Because your voice is in Karbala right now.
It's not just voice.
Every za'ir of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, every voice in Karbala is a za'ir of Karbala. Sayyid Muhammad, speak to your uncle Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam. Talk to him. Say, Ammah, why were you struck on the head? Why were you not given water? Ammah, why did they take you off your horse? Ammah, why did they make fun of my grandfather, Abi Abdullah al-Hussein, with your death? Why did they violate the sanctity of Ahl al-Bayt alayhim as-salam? Speak to him, my dear brother Sayyid. Have your ziyarah. Bismillah.
Assalamu alayka ya Abu Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Rasulullah. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Amir al-Mu'minin. Assalamu alayka ya Hussein al-Shahid. السلام عليك أيها الشهيد وابن الشهيد. السلام عليك أيها المظلوم وابن المظلوم. لعن الله أمة قتلتك ولعن الله أمة ظلمك ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت به. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا أبا الفضل العباس يا ابن أمير المؤمنين وابن سيد الوسيين. السلام عليك أيها العبد الصالح المطيع لله ولرسوله. السلام عليك يا أفضل الشهداء. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. يا أبا الفاضل يا أبا الفاضل، جئتني شرف زيارتك عاجلا. You are aware of everything. You are aware of my heart, my condition.
May Allah bless you for calling and crying every night on the I Am Husseini show. But above all, we know that you want your voice here in the holy land of Karbala. Thank you very much for your call, dear Sayyid. And may Allah bring you to Karbala in the closest time possible. Abu Talib, final words before we end the show.
Brothers and sisters, Ashura is 2 days away. Our Imam will stand lonely in the land of Karbala after he sees all his brothers, sons and companions killed in front of him. For the ones that called and came through, I thank you for giving us the honor to take part in your ziyarah. And for the ones that haven't called, I recommend for you to call and perform a ziyarah in which thousands and millions wish they can. If you can, take the opportunity and take part.
Ahsant. Brothers and sisters, we have come towards the end of the show. It's the 9th night of the holy month of Muharram. Every culture, every religion, every human being, when it comes to a new year, celebrates their new year. Except a true Muslim. A true Muslim whose new year begins with the calamities of Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. A true Muslim with the new Islamic year mourns, laments, cries. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless each and every single one of you. And on behalf of myself my brother Abu Talib, our dear cameraman Ahmed and Hussein, our dear production team downstairs, and everyone in Imam Hussein Media Group. We bid you Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Never leave us apart, Ya Hussein. What is left in us besides this great love and our hearts beat, Ya Hussein. Every beat of my heart, Ya Hussein. Never leave us apart, Ya Hussein.
Gather round, let love's verses unfold. Verses of love, a story untold. In words we unite, emotions entwine. Labbayka ya Hussein, where hearts are defined. Join me as we unravel the poignant stories of martyrdom, of sacrifice, of mercy that Imam Hussein bestowed upon his followers. Join me every night as we lament through poems and lamentations and elegies in honor of Imam Hussein. Join me for verses of love. In the tragic month of Muharram, one of the most significant acts is the provision of tabarruk and niyaz for Husseiniyyas worldwide.
In a world plagued by hunger and the merciless killing of Shia Muslims on a daily basis, it becomes our duty to give to those in need. Countless Husseiniyyat Imam Bargas and centers cook meals to nourish their local communities as the masses gather to remember Imam Hussein alayhi salam.
And do you know what? The orphans and widows absolutely cherish it.
During this time of year, hundreds of thousands of orphans, widows, and people living in poverty rely on niyaz and tabarruk.
Just imagine the profound impact a single plate of food, a glass of water, or a bag of fruit can have.
These simple items can nourish a hungry child.
The skies, our sun has died. Sorrow in our day. Tell me, and now I cry. Our son has died.
Where are the hands that once comforted us? Where is our uncle? Where are the hands that once comforted us? Where is our uncle? Where is our guardian, our Abbas? Where is our guardian, our Abbas? As we away, where are the hands that once comforted us? Where is our uncle? Where are the hands that once comforted us? Where is our
of Muharram, one of the most significant acts is the provision of tabarruk and niyaz for Husseiniyyas worldwide.
In a world plagued by hunger and the merciless killing of Shia Muslims on a daily basis, it becomes our duty to give to those Husseyniyat Imam Bargas and centers cook meals to nourish their local communities as the masses gather to remember Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam.
And do you know what? The orphans and widows absolutely cherish it.
During this time of year, hundreds of thousands of orphans, widows and people living in poverty rely on niyaz and tabarruk.
Just imagine the profound impact a single plate of food, a glass of water, or a bag of fruit can have.
These simple items can nourish a hungry child, bring comfort to a struggling family, and even inspire a brighter future.
However, we cannot do this alone. We need your help to create a lasting impact this Muharram.
Join us in this collective effort to provide basic necessities that every human deserves.
Make your niyaz count and donate your tabarruk now so that it can reach the Hussainis and the Zainabis of today.
يا رسول الله صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله روحي وأرواح العالمين لك الفداء يا عبرة كل مؤمن ومؤمنة يا غريب يا مظلوم كربلاء يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما علي I sit here and I gaze into your eyes I wonder how I shall still live with your demise. This beautiful flower within my two arms lies. Though ripped and torn, you're still beautiful in my eyes. When you cry out that scream of death, my heart it cries. And Ali, when your soul leaves you, my soul shall die. Ali, Ali, my son, for your blood the swords are thirsty. They did not rest rest until their blades touched your body. Their metal longed to cause for you this. They all rest in tranquility, and with your head broken, they return.
Evening basis, that this show, this particular program, really soft. Al-Hussein alayhi salam, and here we are reminding you of the tragedies. If, however, you're watching before you go towards your majlis, then inshallah we can soften your hearts and provide some tears for you so that when you go to the majlis, you're able to connect to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Tonight, brothers and sisters, we are commemorating one of the moons of Imam al-Hussein's progeny. We are remembering the proud son of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, and that is Ali al-Akbar, the son of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. And here to commemorate and to really understand more about the life of Ali al-Akbar and the tragedies of Ali al-Akbar, I'm joined by none other than the Honorable Sayyid Ali Nawab. Sayyidina, assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
عظم الله أجورك شلون الصحة؟
الحمد لله وأجوركم.
Alhamdulillah. Sayyidina, firstly, I guess the last time we had this kind of conversation, just me and you in this studio, I said to you that, you know, we are halfway through Muharram.
Yeah.
And now, Sayyidina, I think we're almost at the doorsteps of Ashura.
Yeah.
And where it's almost, I guess, in a way, people say it's over when really it's not, because the tragedy of Sayyidah Zainab just begins on Ashura and the days that follow Ashura. So in actuality, Sayyidina, and I don't mean to take too much of your time, in actuality, the real tears and the majalis and the real passion to have the majalis should be also from the 11th of Ashura onwards.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين. عبد الله الحسين صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله. Comes a severe illness, and after months and months of they tend to find that that loved one or that relative is going through the final moments of their lives. You tend to find that the tragedy of losing a loved one is somehow or sometimes less painful on the heart of the family.
Yeah, you're expecting
because it's not so sudden that this loved one leaves and departs. It's the close relatives would expect at the end of the life of this loved one that soon as they become acquainted the loss of that loved one. The tragedy, the masa'ib, the pain, and the emotions, the tears, and the and the saga really start from the 11th. Maybe Karbala and the nasib of Imam Hussein alayhi salam for Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam to start the mourning process for 10 days of the mourning of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, in one sense to prepare the Shia and the followers of Ahlul Bayt for the most tragic calamity that on mankind in the history of mankind, beginning to the end, which is the tragedy of Imam Hussein. It's not so painful when we arrive on the day of Ashura. We are mourning, we are crying, we are weeping, we are at the peak of the saga and the musibah and the tragedy, but it's not so painful on our heart. So it's as Ahlul Bayt and for Ahlul Bayt, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to be merciful. It's as if Ahlul Bayt, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to be merciful towards the words of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, that they feel the heat, the event of the tragedy. But again, it's as if Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam are trying to say that the Muslim is so heavy that it's like 10 days before the Muslim for us to prepare and get acquainted with
See what you're saying. Okay.
So, brothers and sisters, okay, might feel that, okay, I've been mourning Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam 10 days, and the peak of the mourning is on the 10th day of Muharram. After the afternoon, 10th of Muharram, when everything finishes and ends on the plains of Karbala, I know that the family are taken as captives and another Muslim start there, but climax, people that the climax of Nasib ends on the day of Ashura, and the fact that family are taken to Kufa and Kufa to Sham, there is tragedy, and as if the calamity is not as bad as the calamity that fell of Imam Hussein on the Ashura.
Is it?
It is.
Of course.
It is, because one men being killed in the battle because it's life. Two sides, face to face. They fight together, and at the end of the war or the battle, at the end, there must be
death.
There must be it's an innocent individual who loses their life. Must be a criminal, violent individual. But for women and children to be taken for something that it is not their fault, they have no reason to take captives. To them being the blood of Rasulullah, the family member of Rasulullah, being young children. I mean, we are human beings. We have senses. There have been in the history of mankind, brothers and sisters, for little children, little boys and girls to be chained and to be handcuffed with rope to be pulled the hot sands in the middle of the desert during the day. Brothers and sisters, Musib 11 when they brought these children, I want to read Musib of the 11 but of the things that happened to the family of Abdullah al-Hussein is that the enemies, every time they would stop, because they used to get tired as well. The army of Sham used to stop. They didn't make it at one time from Kufa to Sham. They used to stop to relax, to rest, to eat, to drink. So they used to erect tents for themselves. They used to bring the best of foods, the best of drinks. They used to enjoy themselves. Whilst the family of Imam al-Hussein would have no tent to go under and protect them from the heat of the sun. Let alone that, they wouldn't have give them, they don't give them proper food, they don't give them proper water. And every time one of them wanted to let out that pain in their hearts and cry, they used to come and curse them and beat them and whip them. And I'm talking about little boys and girls. I'm talking about Ruqayyah. I'm talking about this loved daughter of Abi Abdullah al-Hussein. It's not only she misses her father. If one loses their father, people come and say, I offer my condolences. If it's a young child, they show extra mercy, they show extra emotion. But it was done once in the history of mankind, that they used to come and shout at Ruqayyah. She was scared. Her father wasn't around to look after her. When they used to see tears coming down the cheeks of little Ruqayyah, the enemy of Allah would raise his hands and slap the face of Ruqayyah. It is not the night of Ruqayyah, but I don't know. Maybe it was destined for me to bring the name of Ruqayyah. During the way in the middle of the night from Kufa to Jam, she falls from the back of the camel. She gets lost in the middle of the deserts. Eventually, when they go back, as a result of the spear that was carrying the head of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, is pierced in the ground. The soldiers came, they wanted to carry the head of Imam al-Hussein. They noticed that the head of Imam al-Hussein is looking to one direction. Instead of going, comforting this young lady, young girl, who is afraid, who is scared in the middle of the night, in the darkness of the desert, comforting her, they came, the enemy of Allah, Shimr ibn Dhil Jawshan, he came, he started striking his whip on little Ruqayyah, brothers and sisters. So the musibah starts from after Ashura and after Karbala. Brothers and sisters, it is the beginning of the tragedy that falls upon Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. I think it is selfishness. It is greed. It is losing your sense of humanity. It is forgetting that you are a human being before you are a lover of Ahlul Bayt. If you stop mourning and stop attending majalis and take off that black shirt that you've been wearing for 10 days after the 10th of Muharram, how could you go back to your normal lives and stop feeling the pain and emotions that Lady Zainab is getting ready to face during the way? But that will, inshallah, be covered, inshallah, in the later nights, inshallah, in the majalis of Ahlul Bayt alayhi
So, Ahsantum Sayyidina, and I think, regardless, it's these kind of shows, there's no limits, there's no cap, there's no boundaries. Any masayib of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, or any of the masayib of Imam Hussein alayhi salam is always relevant. At the end of the day, Ali Akbar is a relevant relative to Sayyida Ruqayyah. So we are discussing it. Can you give a quick introduction into Ali Akbar, I guess, who he is, his position within the Hashemite family?
Ahsan. Ali al-Akbar was the eldest son of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. He was born in the city of Medina, 33 years after the migration of Rasulullah from Mecca to Medina. His mother was a relative of Abu Sufyan. If I'm not mistaken, his mother was called Layla ibnatu Abi Murrah. And this Layla, the mother of Ali al-Akbar, her mother was Maymuna, the daughter of Abu Sufyan.
Which makes her first cousins with Yazid, yeah.
So this Maymuna, the grandmother, the maternal grandmother to Ali al-Akbar, is the daughter of Abu Sufyan. So that's why one of the Arabians present in Karbala, when he speaks to Ali al-Akbar, he says, you are related to the so-called Amir al-Mu'mineen, Yazid ibn Muawiyah. Why are you out here fighting us? Anyway, so Ali al-Akbar was the eldest son of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, born in the city of Medina. His father, obviously, Imam Hussein alayhi salam. His mother, Layla. There were other sons of Imam Hussein alayhi salam who were called Ali. And the reason that he was called Ali al-Akbar, because there were other Alis. To distinguish between them, they used to call Imam Zayn al-Abidin as Ali al-Awsat or Ali ibn al-Hussein Zayn al-Abidin. And there is another third Ali by the name of Ali al-Asghar. So Ali al-Akbar, Ali al-Awsat, and Ali al-Asghar. Ali al-Awsat, being Imam Zayn al-Abidin, was born in the year 38 AH. So he was younger than Ali al-Akbar. Ali al-Asghar was 6 months old in Karbala, who is also known by Al-Radi'. This Ali al-Akbar, salamullahi alayh, if I can share a narration to come to understand who Ali al-Akbar was. One day, a Christian man comes to the masjid of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, and he says, I want to meet Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. And this is after the demise of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. So the Muslims direct him towards Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. He comes, he greets Imam al-Hussein, and he sits down. Imam al-Hussein says, oh Christian man, what do you need? How can I help you? The Christian man says, first of all, tell me, who are you? Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam says, I am Hussein, son of Ali, the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The man says, the previous night, in my dream, in Alam al-Ru'ya, I saw the messenger, the prophet of Islam, and next to him was Isa ibn Maryam, Prophet Isa ala nabina wa alihi wa alayhi salam. And Prophet Isa told me, oh man, I instruct you to believe in Islam, convert to Islam. And it was a very surprising moment for me when Isa ibn Maryam is saying to me, believe in Islam. So now I've come here and I want to fulfill the request of Isa ibn Maryam, and I want to meet the Prophet. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, obviously the Prophet is not around, to help and to support this man in changing over from Christianity to Islam. He said, if I show you someone who is as good looking and resembles Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, would you believe in Islam? He said yes. In those days, Ali al-Akbar was still young. Brothers and sisters, Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, some of their children from a very young age, they used to cover their faces. They used to put a veil on their faces to stop from people doing hasad, hitting them with their eye, because they couldn't appreciate the fact that this family resembles Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, has the characteristics of Rasulullah, has the khuluq and the akhlaq and the morals of Rasulullah. So Abi Abdullah al-Hussein, Ali al-Akbar being young, he used to cover his face with a veil, a burqa. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam asks his family members to bring him Ali al-Akbar. Ali al-Akbar walks in, veiled, his face covered.
Yeah.
As soon as Ali al-Akbar, by the instruction of Imam al-Hussein, removes that veil, that Christian man falls unconscious.
Wow.
They bring water. Imam al-Hussein takes the water, starts sprinkling water on the face of this Christian man. He regains consciousness. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam says, look at the face of this young man. That man started crying out heavily and said, by Allah, this is the face of the Prophet that I saw in my dream.
SubhanAllah.
Imam al-Hussein asked him one question. He said, oh man, what would you do if you had a son like this, and if one day he was walking and a thorn enters his feet? This man said to Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, I will see this son of mine in front of my eyes being cut into pieces.
SubhanAllah.
Ali al-Akbar resembled Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam in everything. Khalqan wa khuluqan wa mantiqan. As described by Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam on the day of Ashura, when he raises his hand and prays and supplicates and says, Allahumma shahad, innahu baraza ilayhim ghulamun أشبه الناس برسولك خلقا وخلقا ومنطقا وكلما اشتقنا إلى رؤية نبيك نظرنا إلى هذا الغلام. And the Imam continues supplicating and then says, Allahumma famna anhum barakat as-sama, until the rest of the supplications, which we will mention closer to the Masa'ib, inshallah. Ali al-Akbar was known when he was in Medina. He had his own residence or his own quarters amongst the area of Bani Hashim, and his house, his door was always open for the people of Medina and the strangers who used to come to Medina, and they needed somewhere to stay, they needed a shelter, they needed to eat or drink. And this was one of the kindness of Ali al-Akbar, because he resembled Rasulullah in his kindness and mercy. So he was known to be a mudiyaf, and someone whose door, and there was like a lamp on the door of Ali al-Akbar, which signified that this house welcomes guests, welcomes strangers at any time of the day. So some of the characteristics of Ali al-Akbar, khalqan wa khuluqan wa mantiqan.
Ahsantum Sayyidina. On that note, dear brothers and sisters, you are watching Verses of Love, coming to you live from London. We're going to take a very, very small break, but after that, inshallah, we'll start with the tragedies of Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam, and then recite elegies, inshallah, for the remaining of the show. So we'll see you in a couple of minutes.
The tragic death of Muharram, one of the significant acts, the provision of tabarruk and niyaz Husseinis worldwide.
The world by hunger and the merciless killing of Shia Muslims on a daily basis. It becomes a duty to those in need. Countless Husseyniyat, bargas, centers, meals to nourish local communities. The masses gather to remember and centers cook meals to nourish their local community as the masses gather to remember Imam Hussein.
And you know what? The orphans and widows absolutely cherish it.
During this year, hundreds of thousands of orphans, widows, and people living in poverty rely on niyaz and tabarruk.
Just imagine the profound impact a single plate of food, a glass of water, a bag of food can have.
These items nourish a hungry child, bring comfort to a struggling family, and inspire a brighter future.
However, we cannot do it alone. We need your a lasting Muharram.
Join us in this collective effort to provide basic necessities that every human deserves.
Make your niyaz count and donate your tabarruk now so that it can reach the Husseinis and the Zainabis of today.
Welcome back, dear viewers of Imam Hussein TV. You are watching Verses of Love coming to you live from London tonight with my special guest. We have Sayyid Ali Nawab. Sayyidina, once again, Assalamu alaikum. We understood from Sayyid Ali in the beginning show, if you just missed it, to summarize, well, I mean, first and foremost, the conversation led us to Sayyid Ruqayya alayhi salam and the tragedies of Sayyid Ruqayya and the fact that the masa'ib of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam and the masa'ib of Sayyidah Zainab doesn't stop at the 10th. It actually starts from the 10th onwards for Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam. So we're encouraged, as dear brothers and sisters, dear viewers at home, to continue the majalis, continue the mourning, continue the aza for Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam, for surely those times are very, very tough for her. Moving on, we spoke about Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam and the fact that he resembled the Prophet in three particular ways, in terms of his manners, in terms of his looks, and in terms of the way he speaks. And specifically, I remember hearing a narration, I'm not sure, Sayyidina, if this is correct or not, but Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam asked Ali al-Akbar to recite the adhan in the Fajr time, if I'm not mistaken. So it's really ironic that the enemy were out to attack Imam al-Hussein in the name of Islam. Whereas you literally see the resemblance of the Prophet on the side of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and he is saying Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, and so on and so forth. So the irony is that these guys came out against Imam al-Hussein in the name of Islam, in the name of the Prophet, whereas the Prophet's grandson and great-grandson, and the one that actually resembles the Prophet, is there being killed by the enemies. It is a tragic story, Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam, Sayyidina.
Very painful. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. جرى دمعي لمصرع شبل طه، وتاه الفكر في الحزن الشديد، فما أدري أعزي أم أهني علي المرتضى بابن الشهيد، فطورا للوصي به أهني وأنظم مدحه نظم العقود. علي بالطفوف أقام حربا كحربك يا علي مع اليهودي وقاتل بكرهم كقتال عمرو وجد له على وجه الصعيد وطورا يا علي أعز فيه وتبكي العين للعقد الفريد كأني بالحسين غدا ينادي علينا يا ليالي الوصل عودي رجوتك يا علي تعيش بعدي لتوسد جثتي رمس اللحود وتمشي باكيا من خلف نعشي كما يبكي الوليد على الفقيد ولم أنسى النساء غدا تفرت إلى نعش الشهيد ابن الشهيد. The poet describes the relationship, the resemblance of Ali al-Akbar with his grandfather Ali ibn Abi Talib. He says, Ya Ali, I am confused between congratulating you or offering my azan, my condolences for when Ali al-Akbar came to the battlefield. He revived your memories when you went to fight the enemies of Allah. When Ali came out and annihilated Bakr ibn Ghanim, it reminded us of how you annihilated Amr ibn Abd Wadd al-Amiri. But Ya Ali, at the same time, we cannot stay patient when we saw his father Hussein crying and saying, Oh Ali, oh my son, how I had hoped that one day you would carry my janazah like a son carries the janazah of his father to the graveyard. And how I wish you to sit beside my grave and cry and weep and mourn my demise. And the poet continues to describe how the women in the camp of Abi Abdullah came on, each one holding on to the clothing of Ali, crying out. And eventually Ali went to the battlefield. But brothers and sisters, let me narrate to you how Ali al-Akbar happened to be given the permission by his father, and he allowed his beloved son to go to the battlefield. When Ali al-Akbar heard the cries of his father Hussein, ألا من ناصر ينصرنا, is there no supporter to come to our aid? ألا من ذاب يذب عنا,
And that is when all of the companions of Abi Abdullah lay there on the plains of Karbala. Ali al-Akbar comes to his father Hussein. It's as if they both can read what is going on in their minds. It is narrated, Abi Abdullah, as soon as he set his eyes on his son Ali al-Akbar, they both hugged each other. They cried and cried and cried until narrators narrate they both fell on the plains of Karbala. They had fainted. Then they regained their life, and then Abi Abdullah looks at his son Ali al-Akbar and looks towards the sky, raising his finger, pointing towards the sky, and he says, "Oh Allah, bear witness, فقد برز إليهم غلام أشبه الناس خلقا وخلقا ومنطقا." Oh Allah, bear witness that the person that mostly resembles your prophet in his physical appearance, in his morals and ethics, in his spoken manners, is going out to the battlefield. Allahumma amna'hum barakat al-ard وفرقهم تفريقا. And then Imam Hussein looks at Umar ibn Sa'ad and he says to him, ويلك يا ابن سعد قطع الله رحمك كما قطعت رحمي. May Allah ban and stop your progeny. May Allah annihilate your progeny the same way you have cut my progeny. Then Abi Abdullah recites these verses of the Holy Quran. إن الله اصطفى آدم ونوح وآل إبراهيم وآل عمران على العالمين ذرية بعضها من بعض. Brothers and sisters, this was the sign to Ali al-Akbar. Oh Ali, I have given you permission. Ali al-Akbar says his goodbyes, kisses his father for the final time. He goes to the battlefield. He asks and shouts out, "Is there no brave warrior to come and fight with me face to face?" He says to them, "أنا علي بن الحسين بن علي نحن وبيت الله أولى بالنبي والله لا يحكم فينا ابن الدعي أضربكم بالسيف حتى ينثني ضرب غلام هاشمي علوي." In that instance, Umar ibn Sa'ad says to his army, "Is there no one brave enough to go and fight this young man?" There was an individual by the name of Bakr ibn Ghanim. He says Bakr ibn Ghanim came out to the battlefield. Abi Abdullah is observing the scene. His mother Layla standing besides the tent. She is looking, monitoring the face of Abi Abdullah. Every time Abi Abdullah smiled, Layla's heart eased of pain. But suddenly she saw Abi Abdullah's face become pale. She cried out, Ya Aba Abdullah, is there anything wrong with my son? Abi Abdullah said, no, Ya Layla. ولكن برز إليه من يخاف منه عليه. Oh Layla, I fear from this Bakr ibn Ghalib. She said, oh Aba Abdullah, Sayyidi, oh son of Rasulullah, what shall I do? Abi Abdullah said to Layla, go back in the tent and pray for the well-being of your son. Layla came back inside the tent. She took off her hijab, she raised her hand and she said, Ya Rad Yusuf ila Ya'qub, Ya مخلصا لبن من بين فرث ودم، يا مخلص الجنين من بين أحشاء ورحم، ارجع لي ولدي علي. Oh Allah, I beg you to bring back my son Ali. And she cried and cried until she fell fainted in the tent. Ali al-Akbar killed Bakr ibn Ghalib. He came back to his father Hussein. He said to his father, Abba, oh father, this armor is so heavy. I am dying of thirst. Ya Abba, خلي شربة من الماء. Abi Abdullah then is noticed taking out his tongue. It's as if he's saying to Ali al-Akbar, oh son Ali, I am more thirsty than you are. Oh Ali, be patient. In moments, your grandfather Rasulullah will quench your thirst. Ali al-Akbar, go back to the tent. Your mother has fainted. Go comfort her for the final time. He enters. He sits beside his mother. He takes the head of his mother, places the head of Layla in his lap, starts shedding tears for the condition of his mother. His mother opens her eye. She sees Ali al-Akbar. Ali al-Akbar says, oh mother, comfort yourself. For a moment later I shall join my grandfather Rasulullah. They bid farewell. Ali al-Akbar goes to the battlefield. One of the enemies of Allah by the name of Munqidh ibn Murra al-Abdi. He says, Wallah, I swear by Allah, I shall cause pain to the heart of his father. He comes towards Ali al-Akbar. Ali al-Akbar fights with him, but suddenly Munqidh raises his sword and strikes Ali on his head. Ali falls, hugs the neck of his horse. The blood of the head of Ali spills on the eyes of the horse. The horse doesn't know where to head. He heads inside the camp of the enemies. They surround Ali. They start striking Ali al-Akbar from every corner and every side until Ali falls, crying out, Abba ya Hussein, adrikni. Abba ya Hussein, alayka minni salam. It is narrated, Abi Abdullah sprints towards Ali al-Akbar. He sees Ali al-Akbar there on the plains. The narrators narrate, he sat beside the body of Ali al-Akbar. He still couldn't comfort himself. Narrators narrate that he slept by the body of Ali al-Akbar. Lady Zainab knew how much Abi Abdullah loved Ali al-Akbar. She came out of the tent. She shouted out, Wa akha, Wa Husayna. The narrations narrate that the enemies had cut the body of Ali al-Akbar into small pieces. فَقَطَّعُوهُ إِرَبًا إِرَبًا. Then Abi Abdullah couldn't carry the body of Ali al-Akbar. He said to his brother Bani Hashim, Ya Bani Hashim, come and help me carry the body of Ali al-Akbar back to the tent. They bring Ali al-Akbar, Lady Zainab alongside his mother Layla. They sit down and cry and beat their head, shouting, Wa walada, wa aliya.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. I stand alone, gazing at the stars, as they may answer a burning question. Where does my son Ali al-Akbar lie? As alone I wait for my son's return. Alone I stand and alone I ask, will my son return? Will my son return? Will my son return? Within these tents only my shadow holds onto my heart, and within its hand I gaze out and no one comforts me but an unsure path and the burning sands, and only the stars I have to ask, will my son return? Will my son return? Will my son return? A heart heavy with my screams and cries, and alone I must bear its weight on me. For this rose was everything for me, my path, my future, the soul within me. I bear this weight, and with grief I ask, will my son return? Will my son return? Will my son return? With his absence, the whispers in me tell me your beloved for you does not care. I answer every whisper with the hope I know my absence my beloved can't bear, and yet in the doubt in my heart it asks, will my son return? Will my son return? Will my son return? A trail and stain with my son's blood
taunts this mother's soul with the hint of death. With every taunt, my heart longs to cease and calls for death to take away my breath. A mother with her son's absence asks, will my son return? Will my son return? Will my son return? Many thanks to the poet Nouri Sardar for that excellent poem regarding the mother of Ali al-Akbar, Layla, and her pleas for her son to return. And as described so tragically by Sayyid Ali, and I'd love to thank once again Sayyid Ali for your hard work, for not just this night, for the nights that we've had and the nights remaining. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you the intercession of Ali al-Akbar and the family of Ali al-Akbar, inshallah. Mamnoonak Sayyidina, thank you very much for your time. On that note, we ask for your du'as as well, dear brothers and sisters. What we learnt from today, not only from in terms of wisdom and the fact that Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam resembled the Prophet, as we know. However, what's important to note is that Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam resembled the Prophet being in Imam Hussein's army, and the enemies were killing Imam al-Hussein in the name of Allah. It just doesn't make sense somehow. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala best of planners, and inshallah we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Ali al-Akbar is in the heart of all our youth. I say youth, although Ali al-Akbar was still considered a man rather than a youth. However, it is a day that the youth can connect to Ali al-Akbar, inshallah. And on that note, we'll inshallah see you in the remaining one episode of Verses of Love tomorrow for Laylatul Ashir, the night of Ashura. Please join us for an emotionally charged night, a passionate night, and a night of sorrow. So inshallah we will see you then. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The enemies were torn through Ruqayya, delivering my head on a tray. I felt her hands upon my cheeks, her state, her story she went on to.
السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله، السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم والعن أعداءهم. In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters, respected viewers, welcome to Karbala. Welcome to land of Hussein. Welcome to land of Abbas. Welcome to the land of Sarah. Welcome to the heaven on earth, which is gonna witness the martyrdom of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam and his companions on the day of Ashura by the worst people ever Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad, Umar Sa'd, Shimr, and those who may Allah curse them. This is Welcome to Karbala, live ziyarah show, to make it possible for every single one of you to feel him or herself here in Karbala. This is a great opportunity for those who weren't able to make themselves here in Karbala to have their names written in the list of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam's Za'ireen. So if you're watching this live ziyarah show, feel free. Call the number which is shown below the screen and connect your heart to the shrine of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. I'm here with my brother Abu Talib in the studio, and we are serving you, my dear brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum, brother Abu Talib.
Assalamu alaikum, Abu Mustafa. Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers, O lovers of Hussein. Welcome to Karbala. We welcome you to the land of Imam al-Hussein. It's an opportunity for you to place your call and perform a live ziyarah towards Imam al-Hussein. And I'm happy to say that I believe we have a caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Ya Hussein.
Wa alaikum assalam.
MashaAllah. Sister, may I take your name?
My name is Zainab Abbas, and I'm from England.
MashaAllah.
And I'm so surprised that you answered the phone, because I was just sitting on the Janamaz reading Ziyarat Ashura, and I was speaking to Mawla Hussein, and I was just asking him to give me a sign that he's listening to me and accepting my du'as and hearing me. And I can't believe that I'm just watching this right now, and I just feel like my du'as being accepted now.
Sister Zainab, Imam al-Hussein will accept your dua, and he'll accept your ziyarah and respond to your salam. But you know, Sister Zainab, before you perform your salam, the mother of Ali al-Akbar, Layla, she sat on Jai Namaz on the day of Ashura, and she prayed to Allah. She said, "Oh Allah, accept this sacrifice. Accept the sacrifice, but at the same time protect my son." Sister Zainab, I want you to send a salam to Imam al-Hussein. Imam al-Hussein has invited you to his shrine. Cry to him. Speak to him and let everything out.
Please call me and my children, and I really want to come, and Mawla just give me the tawfiq to just forgive me and my sins. And thank you so much, Mawla. Mawla, just please accept my salam. Salam ya Hussein. Salam ya Hussein. Salam ya Abbas.
Sister Zainab, let's look inside the shrine of Imam al-Hussein. Let's see the lovers of Imam al-Hussein inside his shrine, weeping, beating their chests. How much do you love to be alongside them, crying for your master Abu Abdullah?
So much.
When was the last time you came to Karbala?
I feel like my heart is blackened and my soul is blackened. I just want Mawla to forgive me. And I just feel like I want to be forgiven on the day of judgment. I want Mawla to forgive me. I don't want anything in this world. I just want Mawla to forgive me.
Sister, you've came and called the right place, and you have come to the right individual. Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam is the ark of salvation and the lantern of guidance. If it wasn't for Imam Hussein alayhi salam, we would never ever be able to pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and know anything about Islam. Sister, you just called at the beginning of this live ziyarah show while we haven't still performed ziyarah and sent our salams to Imam Hussein alayhi salam as we are doing it every night. So I would like to invite you once again, as I'm going to stand on my feet and perform a salam to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam and Abu Fadl Abbas alayhi salam, to join us. And by the feeling that you have right now, by the crying and the weeps that you and the tears that you're shedding out of your eyes, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive all the mu'mineen and mu'minat, to give the opportunity of ziyarah of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam to all the mu'mineen and mu'minat. I'm going to stand on my feet, face the holy shrine of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, and all of us send a salam to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Ya Allah. Assalamu alayka ya Mawlai, ya Abu Abdullah, oh Imam Hussein. This is the eve of the 9th of Muharram, and this day has been named after your elder son, Ali al-Akbar. Ali al-Akbar, the son who was just like the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. He was too similar to the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. And you yourself said that whenever we were missing the Holy Prophet, we were looking at Ali al-Akbar. But what did the enemy do to Ali al-Akbar in the day of Ashura? Ya Abu Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya Mawlai, ya Abu Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya Mawlai, ya ibn Rasulullah. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Amir al-Mu'mineen. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليك وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتك. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. Let's face towards the holy shrine of Abu al-Fadl Abbas alayhi salam. Qamar Bani Hashim, the moon of the Hashimi tribe. Ya Abu al-Fadl Abbas, يا باب الحوائج، يا حامل لواء الحسين. السلام عليك أيها العبد الصالح المطيع لله ولرسوله ولأمير المؤمنين وللحسن والحسين. السلام عليك يا ساقي العطاشة. After they banned Imam Hussein alayhi salam from reaching the water, Abu al-Fadl Abbas alayhi salam on the 8th of Muharram, by the order of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, once went to the Mashra'ah by 30 companions, by 30 other soldiers, and managed to bring water to the tents. That's why Abu al-Fadl Abbas alayhi salam is called Saqaya Karbala. Ya Abu al-Fadl Abbas, on the 8th of Muharram, you managed to bring water to the tents. Sukaina was happy. You could bring water to Ruqayya. Ali al-Asghar could drink some water. أبا الفضل Abbas. Oh Abbas, you are great. يا أبا الفضل Abbas. You are سقايا كربلاء. يا أبا الفضل Abbas. But on the day of Ashura, when all the companions of Imam Hussein alayhi salam were sacrificed for the sake of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, Imam of their time, once again you listened to the order of your brother, to the order of Imam of your time, and you alone went to the Mashra'ah. But the enemies of Allah, they didn't let you bring any water to the tents. They cut your both hands off your body. At that time, you became Saqqa of the whole mu'mineen and mu'minat. By your martyrdom, you gave water of hayat to hold the mu'mineen and mu'minat and taught us how to be true lovers and followers of Al-Bayt. Assalamu alayka ya Aba al-Fadl Abbas wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
MashaAllah,
much.
sister. MashaAllah, sister. This was a great heart ziyarah by yours and all the mu'mineen and mu'minat, inshaAllah. Sister,
I
please.
just hope Mawla accepts. That's all I want. Mawla accept my tears. Mawla remove my sins and accept my tears. On the day of judgment, I just want my tears to be accepted.
Inshallah. Please
Because
keep
I
us
have
in your
nothing
dua.
to give. I just want my tears to be accepted.
Ya Hussein. Sister, keep us in your dua. And inshallah, I hope
Inshallah.
to be able to see you here in Karbala amongst the Za'ireen of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Labbaik ya Hussein, sister.
Inshallah. Labbaik ya Hussein. Labbaik ya Hussein.
Ya Hussein. MashaAllah. Brother Abu Talib, this is a great night. These days are really great. They are full of sorrow and grief for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. And you know why? Because at the beginning of Muharram, the angels, by the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, hang the cloth of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam in this the cloth that Bibi Fatima al-Zahra salamullah alayha gave it to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, which is full of blood and torn apart because of the swords which have been came to the body of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. How can't it be this sorrowful? Ya Hussein. Ya Abu Abdullah.
Brothers and sisters, as we are live in Karbala, what is greater than listening and performing laments in the name of Imam Hussein alayhi salam? We once stand away from Imam Hussein and say to him, my master, Ya laytana kunna ma'akum. We wish we were present with you. And now we are present with our Imam. And in such sorrowful nights, what is greater than being present in majalis and ma'atim of Imam Hussein? Today I am honored to welcome a servant of Imam Hussein to perform and allow us to cry in grief for our master. Our brother has come from a long distance, but there is no long distance for Imam Hussein. The longer the distance is, the shorter we see it and feel it. We welcome our brother to perform and read on the martyrdom of our master, Imam al-Hussein.
Ya Allah, please, brother. Ya Allah. Ya Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, brother. May Allah bless you. And inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts your dua and ziyarah. Brother, first of all, introduce yourself and tell us where you have come from.
My name is Sayyid Khamis Rizvi, and I've come from, as you mentioned, Abu Talib, from Manchester, UK. And as you said, absolutely, the longer the distance, the shorter it feels when you finally reach this land, and it's an honor to be able to.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
It's like I don't want to look away.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Brother, you have been here in Karbala before. This is not the first time you are here in Karbala. Am I right?
Yes.
So, how do you feel whenever you come and look at the Holy Sharaf Abu Abdullah al-Hussein as a reciter, as a person who knows the history of Karbala? You know, because you as a reciter, you need to know the historical events of Karbala hour by hour, minute by minute. When you look at the whole Sharaf of Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, how do you feel?
It always just reminds me of how limited of a capacity us as human beings have, because we simply cannot imagine what happened on these lands.
Indeed, indeed.
And I always say the hardest part of ziyarah every time is when you have to go back.
Allah.
When you're leaving the haram and you're praying to God, let this not be the last time. And that's a feeling, it never fails to break your heart. And the other thing as well, it's every single time you sit in any of your rooms, your hotel, or any gathering, it turns into a majlis, as it should in these days. But there's, you know, we're not talking about anything else, but it always comes back to Imam al-Hussein every single time. And every time I've been on ziyarah, I always learn a new musibah. And I just think, I've been listening to this for my whole life, but yet there are things that I do not know. There are new musibahs that I've never heard of before. It's a feeling I cannot describe.
Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein,
and
brother.
I pray for every single person who's watching or not watching, who has any desire. If you're a lover of Imam Hussein, you have all the desire. I pray inshallah everyone gets a chance to walk on this land, to do the ziyarah of Mawla Ghazi Abbas, all the maqamat, and Imam Hussein alayhi salam.
MashaAllah. Brother, this is the eve of the 9th of Muharram, and you know that everywhere they recite for Ali al-Akbar. I don't know if you have also prepared your recitation for Ali al-Akbar.
So I had something else in mind before, but no, I'm going to recite
Ya Hussein.
Shahzad Ali Akbar.
Enlighten us.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم.
जख्म दिल के दिखाऊं मैं कैसे, जख्म दिल के दिखाऊं मैं कैसे, तेरा लाशा اٹھاؤں میں کیسے اکبر میرا سہریاں والا اکبر اکبر میرا سہریاں والا اکبر لاش اکبر پہ شاہ جب پہنچے دل کو ہاتھوں میں تھام کر بولے تیری فرقت میں علی اکبر آگ دل میں میرے لگا دی ہے آگ دل کی بجھاؤں میں کیسے آگ دل کی بجھاؤں میں کیسے تیرا لاشا اٹھاؤں میں کیسے اکبر میرا سہریاں والا اکبر اکبر میرا سہریاں والا اکبر تو ہے گڑیل جوان ہے بیٹا باپ تیرا ضعیف ہے کتنا نور آنکھوں کا ہو گیا رخصت مجھ کو آتا نہیں نظر خیمہ لے کے خیموں میں جاؤں میں کیسے لے کے خیموں میں جاؤں میں کیسے تیرا لاشا اٹھاؤں میں کیسے اکبر میرا سہریاں والا اکبر جس نے 18 سال پالا تھا کیسے دیکھے گی وہ تیرا لاشا تیری شادی کا تھا جسے ارماں کیسے جھیلے گی وہ تیرا صدمہ تیری ماں کو بتاؤں میں کیسے تیری ماں کو بتاؤں میں کیسے تیرا لاشا اٹھاؤں میں کیسے اکبر میرا سہریاں والا اکبر بھائی بہنوں کا ہے عجب رشتہ جس کا ثانی کہیں نہیں ملتا روکے صغرا نے یہ لکھا اکبر ایک دکھیا کی لاج رکھ لینا مر گیا تو بتاؤں میں کیسے مر گیا تو بتاؤں میں کیسے تیرا لاشا اٹھاؤں میں کیسے اکبر میرا سہریاں والا اکبر اکبر میرا سہریاں والا اکبر
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
MashaAllah, brother, MashaAllah. May Allah bless you, and inshaAllah, this dua and ziyarah and recitation be accepted by Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. MashaAllah. Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you so much, brother Habibi. Thank you so much.
Ya Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein.
Abu Mustafa, although maybe Urdu is a language that we don't understand, but we've said this before.
Yeah.
The service of Imam al-Hussein has its own language.
Yes.
It touched my heart because the service of Imam al-Hussein is a language that unites
Indeed.
Arabic, English, Urdu, Iranian, and all the other languages. It is the language of truth, the language of honesty, the language of sacrifice, the language of love to a true master.
And that's why the slogan of Hussein unites us is the greatest slogan which have been created ever. Imam Hussein alayhi salam not only unites the people of this era, Imam Hussein alayhi salam unites the whole prophets, unites the whole creatures. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when created the whole universe, created it by the love of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. When every single prophet was ordered to deliver the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the people, was tested by Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. You may have heard about the Prophet Abraham, Musa, and all the other prophets who passed through Karbala. And here in Karbala, those great prophets had to shed their blood. It was the Prophet Abraham passing through Karbala when he injured his leg by a stone, and some blood came out of his leg, of his wound. He just said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what have I done wrong that you give me such a musibah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells him, it is not because you have done something wrong, it's because I wanted your blood to be mixed by the blood of the grandson of the prophet of the last ones. So, Imam Hussein alayhi salam's language is one thing. It is the heart. I can just say it like that, Brother Abu Talib, if you let me, for the last word that I want to say. The language of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam is the heartbeats which we can feel inside our chests. Ya Hussein, I think that we've got a phone call. So please, Brother Abu Talib, can you receive the call?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Mustafa.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, sister.
Sister, may I take your name?
It's Hannah.
Sister Hannah. Sister Hannah, we've spoken before, and I want to go directly towards Ali al-Akbar. When Imam al-Hussein arrives close to him after he'd fallen to the ground,
Allah.
when Imam al-Hussein arrives close to him and tried to remove the spear from his chest, the spear's head had been tangled in the veins, and when Imam Hussein pulled it out, his heart came out with it. He was then surrounded and was cut into pieces. He walked towards the battlefield. When he went to Akbar, Akbar placed his right hand on his wounded chest and his left over his shoulder of his father. Hussein asked Akbar, Akbar, why do you embrace me with only one hand? He hugged his father, but with only one hand. Akbar did not reply. Hussein tried to move Akbar's right hand, but Akbar resisted. Then Imam al-Hussein forcefully moved his hand and saw the blade of the He saw the blade of the spear. He laid Akbar on the ground and sat on his knees,
Allah,
placing both his hands on the blade of the spear. He looked to Najaf. he looked to Najaf where his father was buried and said, Father, I too have come to Khaybar. He pulled out the blade, and with it came the heart of Akbar. Imam Hussein, distraught seeing his son in such pain and stress, wept. This is when Akbar sent his last and final salam to Imam al-Hussein. Abu Abdullah, there is no day like yours, my master.
Certainly no day like his.
Sister, let's go to the shrine of Imam al-Hussein. Let's send our salam to Ali al-Akbar, which is buried with Imam al-Hussein. And Ali al-Asghar, which is buried on the chest of Imam al-Hussein. But do you know what else went on the chest of Imam al-Hussein? It was the hooves of the horses that trembled upon his ribcage, flattening his body, making it a flat surface. Wa Hussein. Sister, the shrine is in front of you. Send your salam. Speak to your master. Cry and weep. Participate. The Aza with Bibi Fatima. Salawatullahi alayha.
Assalamu alaikum ya Abu Abdullah. Assalamu alaikum ibn Rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum ibn Amir al-Mu'mineen ibn Sayyid al-Wasi. Assalamu alaikum ibn Fatima al-Zahra Sayyidat al-Nisa al-Alameen. Assalamu alaikum waris Adam Sifratullah. Assalamu alaikum waris Nun Nabi Allah. Assalamu alaikum waris Ibrahim Khalilullah. Assalamu alaikum waris Muhammad al-Nabi Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum ya Abu Abdullah wal arwah allati hallat bi fanaik. عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جل وآخر الأهل مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين ولا علي بن الحسين. السلام عليك يا الشهيد وابن الشهيد. السلام عليك يا المظلوم وابن مظلوم. لأن اللهم قتلت قبل الله وتنزلمت قبل الله وتنسمعت بذلك فرديت به. يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله بأبي أنت وأمي يا ابن رسول الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا العبد الصالح مطيع الله ولرسوله والأمير المؤمنين والحسن والحسين. السلام عليك يا أبا فضل العباس ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا ابن سيد البسين. السلام عليك يا باب الحوائج. السلام عليك يا قمر بني هاشم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا صاحب الأسر والزمان. الأمان من فتنة الزمان. السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن. السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان. أجل فرجك وسهل مخرجك وزهرك. السلام عليكم أهل البيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة الجميع رحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد أجل فرجهم.
MashaAllah. Thank you so much, sister, for your ziyarah. May Allah bless you. And I think that we don't have that much time to the end of this live ziyarah, so maybe 2 or 3 more minutes. I just want to remind something, all the brothers and sisters, respected viewers, Brother Abu Talib, if you let me, I would like to ask all the mu'mineen and mu'minat to put and leave some sadaqah away for the heart of Imam of our time, Sahib al-Zaman, Ajjalallah Ta'ala Farajuh al-Sharif. In these days, Imam of our time, Sahib al-Zaman, May Allah hasten his reappearance. He's the only person who is most aware of the greatness of the grief and aza of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, because he knows the exact value of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. And as Imam of our time, Sahib al-Zaman Ajalallah Ta'ala Faraj al-Sharif says, لَأَبْكِيَنَّ عَلَيْكَ بَدَلَ الدُّمُوعِ دَمًا. Imam of our time sheds blood out of his eyes instead of tears. So his heart, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Let's recite for the salam, for the health of Imam of our time, my brothers and sisters. Let's learn from Abu al-Fadl Abbas alayhi salam, who sacrificed everything for Imam of his time. We also care about Imam of our time. And this is the only request I have for all the mu'mineen and mu'minat. After brother Abu Talib, please, you have the last words, and I think that the time of the show is not that.
Brothers and sisters, recite Dua al-Faraj for the rehastance of our Imam. Let's hope that the next time we sit in a mattam, it is Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman narrating what happened to his grandfather.
Allah.
It is Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman we are praying behind. It is Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman we are walking alongside. Brothers and sisters, I thank you all for viewing and calling towards Welcome to Karbala. Insha'Allah, all your dua has been accepted and your hajat will be fulfilled, and you'll be invited towards the ziyarah of Imam al-Hussein.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كل وليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة، وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا، حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. My dear brothers and sisters, respected viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. May Allah bless you all, and لبيك يا حسين.
Oh, mother, when he stood and addressed the people who had now turned on him, could only think of the torment. He came to help them. Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. When Fatima came to Karbala, Zainab said, do not look, Ya Zahra. Go back, oh mother. Then her mother's eyes began to wander. Another body she had to see. A new grave had been dug in the morning. A young infant in that was buried. There lay the young Qasim, son of Hassan, and next to him the older Ali. But it was Ali al-Asghar she came to, the one they killed in his father's arms. What was the sin of this poor child when the mother, they've killed my brother. Say, another had now joined them in their pain. She had also lost her only sons. Fatima held her hand and led the way to the river she wanted to go. Zainab knew what for they had gone searching. Her noble brother they could not see. His arms would show and lead them to him, where there lay the rest of his body. He went to bring back for us water. Then we heard a shout, oh my brother. We saw the flag fell, that was the farewell. Zainab said, do not look, ya Zawra.
Iron. Lady Zainab, you're defiant, and the earth shakes when you're crying. And all the men in this dunya wouldn't be half the man she was. I'm out of words just to praise you. Oh my lady, can you see us? Ya Zainab, Ya Zainab, Ya Zainab, Ya Zainab, Ya Zainab, Ya Zainab. sent down from heaven. A fragrance ain't gift from heaven. The brightest of flowers chosen to fulfill their greatest mission. She is diamond to the moonless, who shine bright, blinding the ruthless. When she lost him into darkness, she lit the flame towards greatness. She's a healing to my grievance. She's the strength when my faith weakens. When the hopeless have lost all hope, her beauty is what makes them come. She stood bravely like a lion. She hit stronger than an iron. Lady Zainab, you're defiant, and the earth shakes when you're crying. And all the men in this dunya wouldn't be half the man she was. I'm out of words just to praise you. Oh my lady, can you see us? Ya Zainab, 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 Ya Zainab.
Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, I pray from afar to reach Karbala. My Hussein, how I wish to walk into your holy shrine, to stand by your gate, to give my labbaik. The pain of separation, it only gets worse with time. Tell me, my master, this year will I breathe the air of your land that has made me be Hussein, made me be Hussein. My all is worthless, your call is priceless, my goal. Karbala, my only wish, will flock to your land. I'll walk on your sand, take me by my hand, I'll never quit. In words I cannot express, on your land how I obsess. Life without you is useless, your sight makes me feel so blessed. I'd trade all that I possess, only your love is success. To reach Karbala, oh son of Zahra, I dream of being by your side to kiss your holy grave. Although we're apart, you live in my heart. The greatest honor in my life is to be called your slave. With all my heart I pray your land I'll see, the sight of your land that has made me be Hussein, made me be Hussein. Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. My tears, they're endless, my years, they're worthless. You hear me calling Wa Husseina. The pain I'll ignore, Hussein, for your cause my gain is mourning in Karbala. And when I'm walking alone, it's clear I'm not on my own. All of my days I have known, by your shrine I feel at home. Year on year my love has grown, O King on Karbala's throne. To answer your call, I'll give you my soul. My master, I'm only the dust that lies beneath your feet. I pray I'll be proud when I'm in my shroud, when I'm in my grave with Zahra, your servants you will greet. My master, your love is what sets me free. The sacrifice you gave has made me be Hussein, made me be Hussein. I pray from afar to reach Karbala. My Hussein, how I wish to walk into your holy shrine, to stand by your gate, to give my labbaik. The pain of separation, it only gets worse with time. Tell me, my master, this year will I breathe the air of your land that has made me be Hussein, made me be Hussein.
Some things are worth the wait. It'll be okay, it's been too long. But hey, I won't complain. I guess I'll pray and pray. Call out your name, maybe you'll find a way to calm the pain for me, even though I caused you pain. I forget you often and bring you shame. It aches your heart. My sins, I know we're far apart, but it's heart to heart. How you find me ways, Ya Mahdi. How you take me away, Ya Mahdi. Come and show me the way, Ya Mahdi. Lost for words, I just say, Ya Mahdi. Where are you at tonight? In Karbala, you take our hearts with you. Wherever you are, will you say salam to Hussein? If you're there for us, if you're in Najaf, have me in your doors. If you're in Mashhad, I guess you're alone like Rada, or in Medina to see your mother Zahra. I hope you're not crying again. It rains, even the skies come bare. To see your pain, it's my fault. I mentioned the name of Hussein. Oh Mawla, look at me one time, one day. I know I did you wrong. You're kind, I guess. I know I'll break your heart again, but less, I'll try my best. Forgive me like always, how you take me on. By now I know your ways, how you find me ways, Ya Mahdi. How you take me away, Ya Mahdi. Come and show me the way, Ya Mahdi. Lost for words, I just said, Ya Mahdi. Ya Mahdi. Ya Mahdi. Ya Mahdi. Ya Mahdi.
السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله السلام عليك يا
and Hussein, Karbala, Karbala, Allahumma rzuqna Karbala, Karbala, Allahumma rzuqna Karbala.
My journey from here starts between the moon and the stars. 'Tis that I cry on my cheeks, crying for your dome it seeks. My master, come see these tears, come and save me from my fears.